So eventually the poodle got out, but he won't be doing that to it again.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Your Manchester with me, Miss Belinda Scandal.
And me, Mr. Mark Llewellyn.
How the heck are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm gearing up. For a little breakaway.
Well, you're going to where? Where are you going to? The Alps?
I'm going to the Alps.
Yes. How lovely.
I know it's going to be nice, isn't it? I love a bit of winter sports.
Do you?
Do you like water sports?
I don't like any sports at all.
Do you not? Was you never into sports any at all?
No. So I'll tell you what happened there.
Yes.
Because I was into drama at school.
Was you?
Yes. And I came up with a great wheeze. I presented the school with a trophy for drama.
Right.
And then they used to let me polish the trophies while everyone else went off and did the cross-country run.
Oh, I also did a similar thing. I set up a club. It was a litter picking club. Right. Just because they had a hut. So it felt like I had my own little space, my own little studio. And because of that, I didn't have to do all the exercise
So you were the Madame Chalet of Wigan.
Well, the thing is, in Wigan, you either do sports or you don't do them. There's no in between because you have to do rugby.
Very sporty, isn't it?
There's nothing worse than putting your head in between some man's legs.
Well, not without being paid for it.
Well, exactly.
No.
Exactly.
We were very similar then, weren't we? Yes, how lovely. Well, they've still got my trophy, which they give out every year at my old school. Yes.
I was very excited. We got a litter picking.
Oh, did you get one of those?
Yeah.
Oh, they're good, aren't they?
I like them.
Yes. I mean, it's nice when you get a company vehicle, isn't it, with a job. It's either a Hoover or a litter picking thing. Something to aim for.
They knew what they were doing, didn't they?
Yes. Did you enjoy school?
Did I enjoy school? So most of it. I had a very lucky school. Because
did you?
Yes, because I never experienced face-to-face bullying because my sister would basically find out if anybody said anything nasty about them, and then you'd find out that she dealt with it because you'd walk out of school and see her in the corner of the schoolyard fighting with said person that had said anything nasty.
Oh right, and was she sporty?
She could do rounders, I think.
Oh, could she?
I like rounders. See, I think if I'd have been brought up with rounders instead of cricket, life would have been good. I auditioned for a part once where I had to learn how to play cricket. And it was the most embarrassing moment of my life, I tell you.
Yes.
I can bareback.
And it was terribly
horse riding.
Oh, horse riding,
I had to learn that. That's one of my skills.
I wasn't sure there for a minute. Well, you just reminded me of a story, you see.
Oh, did you bareback?
No.
Oh, right.
School play and the sports teacher, who I didn't like, he was having to play this part in the school play, and in the show I had to hit him with the butt of a rifle.
Oh, right.
And I really went for it.
Did you?
Yes.
Did you do it proper?
Yeah.
Did
and
you?
he wasn't nasty to me ever again. Because there's nothing worse, is there, than standing there while they're picking the teams and nobody wants you.
Nobody. I played football once, I think, for the school, and I think that was just out of pity on their side because I made a very big error. You know, so I didn't stand out as the effeminately camp one. I got my mother to get me my football kit, and I chose blue because blue was for boys, and I thought red for girls. That messed up. I was in a school of all reds, weren't I? They were all into the Man United, and there's me dressed in Man City, but I did look lovely in blue.
And you still do, don't
It was when they were sponsored by Brother. Do you remember Brother?
Yes, I do.
Were they
still
sewing
going,
machines?
Brother.
Were they sewing
Well,
machines?
they're computers and things, aren't they?
I don't know.
There's a Brother place in Tameside, yes.
Is there? Yes. Lovely. That's wonderful, isn't it? Well, listen, we have got a marvellous show lined up for you. That was a segue.
Was that?
We have got a marvellous show lined up for you today.
This is being filmed.
This is actually going out. Hello, everybody. Hi.
Oh, good Lord above. Yes. Hello.
There we are. We're over that camera now. Lovely.
Isn't that nice?
Right, who's on the show today, please?
Well, we've got a fantastic comedian all the way from Scotland.
I know.
Yes, called Conor Byrne.
Aren't we international?
We certainly are.
Hey, it's all about comedians today, to be fair.
Is it?
Yes.
Who else have we got on the show?
Stand up.
Oh,
we've got a lovely...
He was sitting down, to be fair.
Well, he was, with a moustache.
Yes.
Yes. Speaking about comedians with moustaches, also on the show today...
Oh, we've been very naughty.
Aren't we? Also on the show today is the very, very lovely Sarah Roberts.
Yes.
She's on the show today
yes,
as well.
You've been talking to her,
She's quite a legend.
Is she?
Yes, and what I've learned about all these comedians is they seem to be born from, not tragedy, because that sounds quite, but they seem to be born from moments in their lives that weren't particularly wonderful, and that's where they derive some sort of humour from.
But it's funny, isn't it? Because if you say to a lot of these comedians who talk about life...
Yes.
Which I like, that, But you say, go on, tell us a joke, which they must get everywhere you go where you say, I'm a comedian.
Yes.
They must say, go on then, make me laugh.
Yeah.
Which there's nothing worse, is there, than that? They don't actually have a joke.
No. Well, that's like male dancers, though. You say to you take a male dancer out of the choreography of what they can do,
yes.
and you take them into a club and say dance. And,
they can't do it.
No, they look quite special.
Yes, indeed. Right, well, shall we meet our first guest
Let's meet our first guest.
And this is...
Mr. Connor Burns. Well, you talk about wonderful, wonderful comedians and their rise to this wonderful, wonderful world. And joining us now is just one of them comedians that's on his way up with everything he does. This is Connor Burns. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Hello, thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm great. Cheers.
Now, this is a fantastic show that you're going to be bringing to us very, very soon. Perhaps tell us a little bit about what the concept behind the show is.
Yeah, so it's called 1994. I turned 30 last year, which I know everyone over the age of 30 immediately has zero sympathy for. But yeah, it's basically, the show is just about my first 30 years on the planet and comparing it to my dad, who's in his early 70s. So it's just kind of looking at how much the world has changed since his adolescence compared to mine.
And what have you learned from that then? How do you find it's changed?
I think that there's a lot of positive change in the world, but I've tried, as a very Scottish / comedian thing to do, I've tried to look for as much cynicism as possible. So it's basically, I'm just having a right good moan for an hour, but I've tried to make it as funny as I possibly can.
So what stories have you managed to pick out from this then?
Well, this show's a bit different for me. It is just an hour of stand-up, but I'm doing some stuff I've never done before. So I use music. Music's been a huge thing in my life. Big thing in my dad. A big thing kind of brought me and my dad together was him sharing all the music from his youth. So I've actually played snippets of tunes from throughout his first 30 years and compare that to my first 30 years, all the big hit songs throughout my life. And I'm just drawing comparisons about, in my opinion, how much the world started to go wrong after about 1994.
It did, because the music was rubbish after then.
Yes.
Honestly, awful. There's a bit where I find out, I won't give too much of the show away, but there's a bit where my curiosity gets the better of me and I start looking at all the dates of stuff that happened. And I've come to the horrific piece of information that the number one song when I was conceived is the Mr. Blobby song.
It's a good song, though.
Yeah,
it's a cracking song.
I'll never be able to look my dad at the same again. Do you know what I mean? A repeat in Noel's house party comes on, I'm going to have to get out of the house.
So was that the song that was out when you were born, or was that the song that was out when you were conceived?
Conceived, sadly. A big part of the review of the show is when I look up number one when I was born. But yeah, I think that's a really fun way to do it, is looking back. So it goes all the 50s to the 90s.
Yeah, and it's also a good thing to remember that Mr. Blobby's song only lasted 3 minutes and 28 seconds, so big part on your dad's back for that.
And like his son, that would have given him about 2 minutes to...
There we are.
Well, it's amazing what you find out on this show. So you're on this enormous tour. Do you like doing touring, one night touring, or is it something you just have to endure?
No, I mean, I do enjoy it. We've planned it a lot better. Last year was my first UK tour, and I don't think the people who helped put it all together will mind me saying this, but it was very hobbled together. There was a lot of me driving from, Brighton to Inverness and all that kind of stuff. But we've done it a lot better this time. So it's like a week away and then a few days home, week away, a few days home. And then before you know it, you're back to normal life and you wish you were back out on the road again.
True. Now, like I said at the beginning of this interview, people are talking about you as the next up and coming, the one to watch. I mean, how does that make you feel?
It's funny, I got there's this comedy publication and they named me as the one to watch in 2020, and I don't know if you remember.
Yes.
It was the year that all live entertainment became illegal. So I'll be honest, I was like, well, that's just the story of my life. I've finally got some kind of recognition or accolade, and all live entertainment has been stopped. Um, so it's nice to like. I'm still one to watch, so it's good. I feel like I haven't disappeared. I'm still there.
I mean, not to dampen on your pred, we were once called the ones to watch, and it
And here we
didn't
are.
work out for us. But
You're telling me that there's a penthouse apartment in my future.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
oh
Why
yes,
not?
you too could be freezing here. So when you're on the road, when you're doing the show, obviously you've got you got your script, you know what you want to do. But how much of it do you actually kind of change from venue to venue?
It changes all the time. I'm very much the type of comedian, like, I love to talk to the audience because, you do the show 40, 50, 60 times. It becomes the exciting part, becomes the bit that's unpredictable every night, which is the audience. That's what's done. So I like to just, you get to a point where the show is so locked into your brain that you're not thinking, where do I go next? What happens after this? So you can do that beautiful thing where you can take a 5 minute tangent and just let something happen, and you know that you're going to lock right back into the show. Where you,
Now, this is coming to the Lowry on the 16th of February. Entice people. Why should people come and watch your show?
I think you should come and see my show. I'll be honest, I'm an idiot. I'm not intelligent. I'm not going to try and change your mind at the end of the hour. I think comedy is doing that way too much now. 45 minutes in, we all have a cry and talk about our ADHD. There's none of that. I just want to take an hour and a bit of your time and make you laugh as much as I possibly can. And I think this show does that.
Excellent.
And the ice creams are lovely at the Lowry.
Well, the
That's
Lowry,
another
they have got a good
yes,
ice cream collection. Yes, very nice. Yes, indeed. So check this out, everybody. Connor Burns over at the Lowry on the 16th of February. For now, though, Connor, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, coming to Manchester this very full-on week, Calamity Jane has arrived. All them songs, everybody, that we did a few weeks ago. It's exciting, it's fantastic. And joining us now is Molly Cutler. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Hi, I'm really well, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing very good. Now, we should say you've probably got a bit of an accent because you are from a place called Grimsby. Is that correct?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm from Grimsby.
And how does a lovely lady from Grimsby end up treading them Deadwood stages?
Well, that's a bit of a long story, but several years of drama school and plenty of Amdram in between and gigging and all of that lot. And I'm very fortunate to be where I am now.
Well, you are fortunate because you've got one of the proper characters in this, our Adelaide, everybody. Adelaide.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me all about her. Tell me all about her.
Adelaide Adams, she's a very well-renowned actress amongst the people of Deadwood, very popular with the men. She's supposed to be being retrieved by Calamity to come and perform at the Golden Garter Theatre. However, things don't really go to plan, and she's got other ideas, so she kind of flits herself off to Europe and leaves Calamity in a bit of a predicament. She's quite a feisty one, and certainly loves the attention, that's for sure.
And she's got some corpus of songs as well, hasn't she? I mean, tell us about them songs.
Well, I have, so the song that I sing in the show is called It's Harry I'm Going to Marry, or Tis Harry I'm Going to Marry. I shouldn't be quoted on that. But yes, I have a wonderful sort of cabaret number that I get to do as part of the show. And I get to have a lot of fun with one of my castmates called Ben Mabberley, who plays my Harry. And we have a good old time on a chaise lounge. It's lovely.
Now, wrong with that. No, Calamity Jane, it disappeared for a while. Of course, it was a brilliant, wonderful Hollywood film. It was full of beautiful colours and it was just, well, it was glorious, still is. Especially now they've brought it back up to HD standard and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, what do you think its success has been? Why do you think it's been so successful?
I think because of Doris Day, and I think because of just the general vibe of the whole film and the musical itself, it's such a positive, wonderfully heartwarming story of, friends not realizing that they're in love with each other. And it takes such a long time for them to kind of embrace that and accept each other for who they are. And I just think that really resonates with people now, like, you know, people not conforming to the stereotypes and sort of really seeing what someone's like underneath the whole sort of societal mask. And I think that resonates in every decade, really. So I think people really hold it dear to their hearts because of that.
And of course, you've got a beautiful cast on stage with you. Talk to us a little bit about who you're on stage with.
Well, obviously, I'm sharing the stage with the one and only Carrie Hope Fletcher, who is, you know, sort of a West End legend. She's absolutely incomparable. She's incredible and a wonderful member of our team. She really kind of keeps everyone's morale going on a day-to-day basis. So I really don't know how we do it without her. But our whole kind of ensemble cast, you know, surrounding all of that is made up of incredibly talented actor musicians who, so instead of your traditional musical where you'd have a pit orchestra, we've got an entire orchestra on stage. So we're all playing live on stage as our characters rather than us being on stage and us having a pit orchestra, you know, sat under the stage in the dark. So you get to see every element that is part of our show right before your eyes.
Well, this is with us at the Opera House until the 25th. Everybody, make sure you get your tickets for this. Don't just dismiss it because it's an old show. Come and watch it because it's an old show, because a lot of wonderful songs in this, and it's going to be absolutely spectacular. We're there for the press night tomorrow, I do believe. So we're looking for, yeah, we'll be there for it. In the meantime, thank you so much for your time today. Thank you.
Thank you. Lovely to meet you.
I've just had a message through, you know.
We should be on your phone at work.
Well, I know,
what
but
are you doing?
It pinged. It's all about the traitors.
We shouldn't be doing that. Oh,
I think
what?
we might have an exclusive to give away, you know. Do you watch The Traitors?
Of course, we love the traitors, don't we?
You could be like...
I sit in a turret in my castle and watch it there, just for the atmosphere.
I could imagine.
I wear a
you
cape.
doing that. Yes.
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 But a sequined one.
Well, obviously. Obviously.
Yes. What have you heard?
Well,
what is this?
I've just found out who's going out later in the week.
Well, we can't say that.
Well, we can't say
We
that.
can't tell anybody, can we? Could you mime it?
Could I mime it? Yeah, I'll tell you now. And
No!
I know, eh?
I'm not going to bother watching anymore.
Well, there's no need, is there?
No.
There's no need. It's
You've
good
ruined
though,
it for
isn't
me.
It's fabulous. I love the programme. I can't get enough of it.
And what do you think of Claudia's outfits this season?
I just look at the gloves.
Well, yes.
She's brought gloves back into fashion.
She certainly has. And apparently they have a whole team of nuns at a hotel near the airport knitting. Yeah. Oh, yes, they're sat there on knitting machines like that. Oh, what do you want this week, Claude? And they're there, and they've got chunky knit
Picture
there.
that,
Can
chenille.
you? Yes.
Chenille's chunky knit, yeah. I love a chenille jumper, you know.
Oh, yes.
Oh, isn't it the best? Well, they don't seem to do them for men, you know. I've been looking for my husband. And
Well, no, I
them.
recently bought online. They've come over from America.
Right.
Mohair card
Love mohair.
with a short collar.
Do you remember moleskin trousers?
Oh, I do.
Oh, they were lovely. Proper comfort, that.
Yes.
Proper comfort.
Yes, so sort of country trousers.
What do you call me?
Well, you are a country pin-up, aren't you, really?
It's like because I look like a cow.
Something like that, yes.
Pull the other one. Right, then let's move on to our second interview then. This is the one and only Sarah Roberts. Well, we are already excited about one particular show that's coming your way in April. We are giddy about this. To tell us more, here's Sarah Roberts. Welcome to the show, Sarah.
Hello, thank you so much for having me.
No problem at all. Tell us, what is the concept behind this show?
So it's a stand-up comedy show that I took to Edinburgh Fringe last year. The show is basically about thinking that you have to be a perfect girl and deciding to be just a horrid, feral girl instead.
So how do we see this portrayed then with on the stage? How are you going to be delivering this to us?
So there's a lot of audience interaction, and it's essentially just like deciding. It's about deciding that you're amazing and just kind of like going with that. So there's a lot of kind of quite like dark jokes, and just there's sort of a gap between like I'll be talking about something that happened that I think is amazing and that I'm really proud of, and then the audience kind of is like, that's actually really disgusting and sounds horrible.
So what made you come up with the idea for this then?
So I've gigged a lot in Manchester and like all over the country doing like shorter sets. And then I kind of just came up with like the story around who that persona was, which is just like a very well, it incorporates like a few different stories. Like I got this plastic surgery when I was like 20 years old, like double jaw surgery. So it's about that. It's also about Paul Mezcal following me on Instagram. Um, just like a lot of interweaving stories kind of told in this by essentially a really annoying narrator.
And a lot of people that get into stand-up, they do that because there's been a particular dark side or a dark event within their life. Is this fair to say of yourself?
Yeah, I think every comedian has probably had quite a lot of dark stuff. I think you sort of have to feel insane enough to like put yourself in such a like vulnerable on stage situation, maybe.
And how does that feel for you when you are putting yourself in the spotlight and talking about situations that are personal to yourself?
Well, I think that that's kind of the hardest stuff to write because you sometimes it's not funny and it often starts off not being funny and you sort of have to like keep trying it until you like find the perspective that is funny about it. So I think at first it can be really difficult, but I think the more that you do it and the more that you like write jokes into it, it just becomes quite cathartic and it's like really fun to write something that initially like maybe starts off as being difficult and then like once you can make it funny, I think it's a challenge, but it's quite a fun one.
Well, this is coming to Grub, which is a fabulous, lovely venue, on the 10th of April. People are excited about this. For those that maybe aren't as familiar as we are with yourself, what would you say to people is the hook and the reason they should come watch this show?
So it's very much like for the girls. I'll say that it's for horrid girls and allies, and I think it's just a really fun, silly show. There's a lot of like dark jokes in it, a lot of like absurd things, and I think it kind of like bridges this gap, hopefully, between being like relatable and also kind of insane. So yeah.
It sounds fantastic. We are looking very much forward to this one. Once again, it's on at Grub on the 10th of April. For now, though, thank you very much for your time, Sarah.
Yeah. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you, Sarah. How fantastic.
Yes.
She's lovely, isn't she? I like
Yes,
her.
it's quite the comedy night.
Quite the comedy night.
Yes.
Did you enjoy the other night, the
Yes.
Calamity Jane show?
At the Opera House?
Yeah.
Yes,
Wasn't it
we
good?
went together. Do you not remember?
I was pleasantly surprised, you know.
It's a lovely show, isn't
Yes.
it? It's a good classic show.
Oh, the Deadwood stage is coming on over the hill.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, in fact, all the numbers really are well known.
Catchy, aren't they?
Yes. Why don't you
Doris
give us a
Day.
rundown of some of them?
Whip
crack away.
Whip crack away, whip crack away, whip crack away. And once
we
I
like
had
that.
a secret love. There you go.
Yes.
That's as much as I can do.
No need to go now.
No, not at all.
But yeah, no, we enjoyed it, didn't we? Yes.
She was very good.
Yes, she was indeed.
Wasn't she? Very,
Yes, she
very good.
was.
Really enjoyed her.
Very good cast.
Very good cast.
Nice ensemble.
set. Nice set as well.
Yes, music very good.
Nice and
So,
colourful. It makes
very
a change to
colourful.
see a musical that's not, dull.
We said that, didn't we, when the curtain went
we
up?
did.
It was lovely to see it because it was at home
Yes.
last year.
Right,
Wasn't it? The same
yes.
production. We didn't get to see it then.
No.
So no, that's on tour now right the way through the rest of the year.
It's a good one to watch.
I
that.
do like those classic shows, don't you? Like when we saw The King and I.
Because the world is a bit engrossed in these jukebox musicals at the moment.
Yes.
And I ain't into them.
No, you're not. are you?
No, there's
I mean, I
that-
don't mind them if they're... But no, I like a nice story. It's nice to have a...
Now
little
that's what I
story.
call music. That one's
Oh,
coming out
no,
as well.
no. I mean, we were asked to do Now That's What I Call Drag 732.
We were, weren't we? Yes.
And we said no.
No.
We're having none of it.
None of it. None
No.
of it at all. None of it at all.
But we may go on the road with a classical show. Perhaps we should do something.
I could see you doing Shakespeare. Do you have a favourite Shakespeare?
I've never heard of Shakespeare. Is that a new writer?
Well, for you probably. You're about the same age, aren't you?
Well, I studied Othello at drama school.
Did you?
Yes, the Moor of Venice.
Oh, can you recite it?
No, but I'd like to play Iago.
Really?
You could play Desdemona.
No, I always wanted to be in Twelfth Night.
Did you?
Yes.
But did you go along on the 13th?
I know I made the wrong day, yeah.
Yes.
You just ruined that for me. And my favourite character in that was Sebastian.
Was it?
This is the air that is the glorious sun.
He went on to do the fish thing, didn't he?
Who? Sebastian? Yes, he was a crab.
Yes.
Yes. It's nothing worse than getting crabs. No, I think that's our time for today.
Surely not.
Well, yeah.
Really?
Yes. Well, why not?
Time to go home.
Time to go home, finish my knitting.
Yes, put my feet in the foot bath.
Do you put your feet in the foot bath?
Oh, yes, with one of those, you don't get them anymore.
What?
Bath cubes. Do you remember those you used to get for Christmas?
Yes.
Out the Avon catalogue.
Yes. Somebody had an Avon catalogue the other day, you know,
they?
while I was doing a
Still
show.
going?
Yeah.
While you were doing the show,
While I was
people are doing
show,
their
they're
shopping.
flicking through the Avon catalogue.
Oh, well, there we are.
That says everything, doesn't it? Obviously, my 12 numbers are starting to bore people. I'm having none
Well,
of it.
they are the same 12 numbers.
Well, they have been for 28 years, but if it's not broke, do not fix it, as I always say.
Avon is saying something else, obviously.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, well, why don't we go and rehearse a new act for you?
That'd be more exciting. That's delectable. Make sure you check out the podcast on Sunday. It's absolutely fantastic. And also make sure you check out our socials. And basically, we're everywhere at the moment. Aren't
We certainly are.
We
You
are.
can't escape us.
No, no matter how hard you try.
No.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here, Flower.
Thank you for being here.
Lovely. I'm just wondering what I'm having for my tea now.
I think you've got Finder's pancakes.
Oh, crispy pancakes. Right, thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you all soon, only on
Your Manchester.